I wanted to cover a topic that I've actually been thinking about for a while. Obviously, I'm not a pro, I'm not a coach, I'm not the most credible source by any means, but today I wanted to make a video on why I think you should switch to edit-on release and why I switched to edit-on release, giving my reasons as to why. So, first off, I think the most obvious reason, if you don't follow comp Fortnite or you just don't follow Fortnite at all and you just randomly stumble upon this video, maybe you're coming back wondering why should I switch to edit on release? And I'm not gonna lie, the answer is just really plain obvious. People are improving. They're improving very, very, very fast, and it's getting to the point now where even the discrepancy between a year ago and how people fought back then and now is massive. People have improved so much. They've refined their ability to fight, to build, to edit, and it's gone to the point where it's very hard to distinguish a top player between the rest. We all remember back in the old days, oh, Ninja was the best player, Myth was the best builder, Tfue became the best builder, or the best player. And as time goes on and on, it becomes harder to try and declare the best player just off of their gameplay. And instead, nowadays, it's more off their performances in tournaments. And so, I wanted to talk about this because fighting every season becomes much more prevalent. Because you see, the problem with fighting in game versus fighting in creative, I'll actually mention creative first. So in creative, you respawn, right? So automatically you're not going to take it as seriously unless you're trying to practice your edits and all that. You're never going to take a creative game as seriously as you are in an actual game unless you're doing tokens or wagers and all that stuff. And this is where the problem comes in. The more people improve by season, every season for competitive tournaments, the harder it is to kill them. And each season, it'll get harder and harder and harder. And for those who aren't getting their fighting mechanics up, their game sense up, those who aren't even trying to do better, you'll immediately realize that as each season passes, it becomes more and more difficult for you to maybe even ranked. Maybe it's harder for you to achieve a rank that you used to have, or arena, or just fighting players. Everything takes longer. You might feel slower. You might be blaming the game and stuff, which I think the only thing you can really blame the game for is if you're on console or if you have high ping. Right now I have very low ping, but I'm East. So when it comes to competitive tourneys, I'm always on 60 to 70 ping, which I don't really want to think about it. But that's a topic for another day. But so the point I'm trying to represent here is that people are getting better, and they're getting better fast. Now, I'll mention one of the biggest problems, which is that because Fortnite is the most popular game in the entire world, if I remember correctly, there are always new people coming to play the game. Kids, teenagers, they're switching to the game, and because all these years of Fortnite has already been out, how long it takes for them to learn how to fight and build their mechanics is way shorter than for the older people who, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like people who play a game longer are more stubborn when it comes to learning new fighting styles, new playing styles, improving, because I like to think of someone who's played a game since release or close to release as like an adult. Adults age, and the more they age, the more stubborn they become, and the more they judge people who are maybe better than them at a much younger age at something. And I've noticed this in real life myself, and it is no different in video games. Veteran players of a video game will always shit on the newer gen of players, or automatically assume that they're somehow better than them because they used to play when the game was actually in its prime. However, this is just a terrible mindset. It's trash. It is why so many veteran players don't do as well as they used to, and a lot of the top tier pros that there used to be, Tfue, Myth, Ninja all quit once people started getting too good too fast. They didn't want to change their playstyle, right? Once cones started being introduced, being able to do stuff like this, they did not want any of that. They didn't want to learn it. They started saying that, you know, they were getting tired of building, or how sweaty people were getting. Even though this is the main aspect of Fortnite, right? There's no other game that has something even similar to building. Or no game that has come after Fortnite. Like, there are probably some Roblox mini games. I mean, I've seen a couple videos of them. But there is nothing that comes close to Fortnite in terms of building. They are unique. And this is its main selling point. It always has been. So, the main reason I recommend you to switch to add-on release right now is because it's just much faster. Yes, a lot of people will make the argument. Being able to do this and not being able to hold it with your finger off can feel weird at first. But after a while, it becomes easy. All you do is hold this, and then instead of letting go, if you don't want to do that, you just do scroll wheel reset like this. And it takes off and it goes back to normal. It is not that much different at all. It's not really a difference. That's why you see, like, Peterbot, he's on add-on release, and because he's so much faster than almost everybody, he's just the faster fighter, the better fighter, he still dominates. Even all the pros that have add-on release off, they have better crosshair placement supposedly. Now you can counteract this too by just playing on a low sense. I play on a pretty low sense. I was tweaking it for about a month or two until I felt comfortable with one. And I landed on this. This is the most movement I can do. I can't even do a 360. That's because I don't need to do a 360, because I can do this. Like that. Boxing up and playing angles is the most important thing you can do in this game. However, if you are good at fighting, you already know how to counteract certain angles. Let's say someone is holding this angle right here. Wait. Oh no, their right hand would be like that, right? Wait, let me check. Yeah, it'd be like this. Let's say someone's holding this right here. You do not fight this guy. And I'll show you what you do. You do this. You shoot that once. You do this. You take the wall. And you either go for a full box like that, or you can go to the side and get a quick edit like that. They'll probably try to go out through this wall if you didn't place it. If not, they're still full box. They're in your box, right? Now, this will only not work if they're already expecting it, or they already have their builds out. However, that's why you only can, if you're really scared about that, and you're confident you can't take their wall, you do this. Right? And then you do this. It's that simple. There are many ways to counteract plays of people holding angles and having better crosshair placement without add-on release, because you edit so much faster. And I'll say this right now, if you play on add-on release, your ability to learn fighting mechanics will increase drastically, because you can edit faster. You have more options. Edits you used to not be able to do, you can do now, and you can escape situations much easier. And this leads to, I'd like to think of it as creativeness. Like, you're more creative. You can think more. You can act more. You have more options in a fight because you're able to do more. And so this is the main reason why I recommend add-on release. It's simply better in my opinion. And once you get good enough on it, it doesn't matter if the angles or the crosshair placement is slightly worse. And even then, that can easily be fixed. You just saw I do a double edit. I'm still looking here. A person would usually be over here. Okay, it's like that. Let's say there's someone on top of this cone. You do the wall, pyramid. I missed the edit there because I suck. And then you do this. Now you notice my crosshair placement isn't good. However, I do this on purpose, because what am I gonna do? Bam. You do this, or you do this, and they are stuck. Now, what happens if they predict this? Well, this is what you can do. Place a wall right there. You see how there's a wall right there? Bam. edit on release, I think, is the future. Unless they end up getting rid of it because for some reason, you know, maybe people complain about it in the future, it's too broken or whatever. But edit on release just allows you so much more, to be able to do so much more in a fight. And I love that. I love it a lot. On controller, I use double edit binds. I don't play controller anymore, but when I did, I use double edit binds because I think they're more consistent. And of course, the crosshair placement, it definitely is a factor in some fights. However, it barely becomes a problem once you play enough on edit on release. So yeah, this is why I recommend edit on release. People are improving, times are changing. The better people get, the faster you need to be, and the only way to get faster, at least on keyboard, is by playing on edit on release. So yeah, let me know what you thought about the video. Peace.